I realized I left the volume pretty low on the music. Sorry about that. I'm about to stream in just a moment, just finishing up one last thing. But yeah, see y'all soon, I guess. Cool. Welcome everyone. Welcome. How is everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. Feel free to say hi in the chat if you're watching right now. It's always nice to hear from everyone. And it is August 27th, 5:36 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and we are live. So, yeah, we'll jump right into it. I'm a few minutes late, but I think it's the least late I've been in a while. There's also no AC in my apartment right now, so it's a little hot. So I got this little towel here to cool myself off, or dry myself off rather. But anyways, let's jump right into it. Yeah, close out of this, make the music a little bit softer, and then I'll go live on Instagram. Cool, now we should be live everywhere. Let me add my message to Instagram. 1 second, y'all. Cool. Yeah, for some reason Ecamm still shows my profile picture as non-existent in Instagram, but that's all good. But yeah, today we're gonna be doing a little animation. Working through processing, working through the coding trains tutorials, and yeah, what else? Let's start today's board. So I'm going to copy and paste everything from last time. Wait, should I copy these notes? Yeah, actually, I'm gonna copy the notes because I might briefly revisit some of what I did last time, or the tutorials I learned last time. So we'll start a new board. We'll call it 12. Why can't I spell 12 right now? You know what? We're switching over to numbers. 12 stream herd. Because eventually that'll get too hard to write out. What's today's date? Today is August 27th, 2024. Cool. So I'll paste in my notes from last time. And yeah. So what did we do last time? We started by recapping the last stream, which is what I'm about to do now. I revisited the bits and bytes tutorial in the tutorial we've been working through. And I'm very glad I did so. I definitely understood it better the second time than I did the first time. And then I added transparencies to my little drawing that I made in processing, which you can see here. I'll actually load it up and show you the code too that we made. Go to File, open Recent. I run, oh wait, no, that's not. So this is what I did at the end of the last stream, but here, hold on. Open. All right, so this is our code from last time. And then this little drawing that I made. Very silly little drawing, nothing special whatsoever, but we made it with code. And yeah, from the tutorials that we've learned so far. So we did that. Specifically, we took the colors and we made them varying levels of transparent, or quote unquote transparent, because it just kind of appears transparent. Then what else? Wrong part of my notes here. Then we started the chapter Program Flow, which is like the next section of the Learn Processing tutorial from the coding train. The first section was on drawing. The second section appears to be on animation, which is cool. I'm excited to get into. Then we went on some tangents. Sorry, my hair got a little messed up. I'm gonna adjust it real quick. But we went on a tangent. Bunch of different tangents from people stopping by and saying hi and saying random stuff in chat, which is actually a lot of fun. It was the first time we had a tangent quite like that. Then yeah, completed Program Flow, set up and draw. Oh wait, sorry. Actually, what we did today, so I'm just gonna leave it how it is. Then we completed Program Flow, set up and draw from that section, second section on animation. And then we made agenda for today. So agenda for today's stream, let me copy and paste that from here. Today is Tuesday, August 27th. And today we are going to review what we completed yesterday, which is what we just did. Then we're going to revisit Program Flow and set up and draw, just because I was a little distracted by everything going on in chat, which is a good thing, which is a very good thing. But I'm going to go back and revisit those tutorials there. Then we'll begin the next chapter, which is called Mouse X, Mouse Y. I assume that means using your mouse to control maybe animations and processing. I don't know. That's what I would assume. I guess, would it be an animation? Would it be a game? I don't know. We'll find out. Then we'll end by making agenda for, I say tomorrow, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow. I have an event. Maybe I'll be able to do a very short stream. Maybe. I don't know. So I'll say tomorrow or Thursday's stream. Cool. And yeah, there we go. I'm going to delete this here because we're not going back to that drawing today. I'm also going to delete bits and bytes because we're not going back to that today. But we are going to revisit Program Flow and set up and draw. So I'm going to load up the tutorial here. Second. Go. I put a link to it in chat. Please go check out the coding train and support. I just wanted to make sure it went through on Instagram. Cool. Yeah, and I'll put that on the screen here too, so you know what we're referencing. Yeah, anyways. Actually, I forgot to set up the YouTube stream. 1 second. Cool. Yeah, just making sure I have everything set up. Cool. But let's hop back into Learn Processing. I'll turn down the music just a bit for now. And yeah, where were we? If we make it full screen, that should make it easier. RGB color, bits and bytes, color modes. We did all of this. So flow, that's where we left off.
Next. And we are back and ready for the next step. Did you take a break? If you didn't take a break, maybe just get up, stretch, move your body around if you can. Take a little break for yourself. Because speaking of moving your body around, I have something to say. This is pretty exciting. You've drawn with code, you've added color, you have some kind of design that I am just picturing as just beautiful and wonderful in my head, but it doesn't move. We'd love to see Zoog do a little dance, bounce off the edges of the window. All of that is possible. But we're missing
All of the
a
tangent
key
cells talk
fundamental-
about all of the tangent cells talk about yesterday was started because he called his little animation, his little drawing Zoob, which might happen again today. We'll see.
concept here. A concept that I will refer to as the flow of the program. The processing flow. If you open up a website, you're clicking around, interacting with things change. A game, it starts, the score is 0, you press some buttons, you move around, you increase your score. Programs happen over time. They run over time. This drawing of Zoog is essentially a static program. It executes
We were saying Zoob yesterday, but I was wondering if he's actually saying Zoog. I don't know.
one thing, this single drawing, and stops. How can I create a processing sketch that runs over time, where things change over time based on interactions or some kind of algorithm? In processing, the flow of a program at its core is defined by two fundamental concepts.
Setup and
Welcome
draw.
to your two new best friends.
So yeah, I'm going to only briefly revisit these two sections. Maybe I should put it on double speed, the video, because we've already gone through it all. But yeah, notes from program flow. So processing flow is the actually maybe I should watch slow for now just to make sure I wrote that correctly. Processing flow is the continuous flow when you start a sketch, for example, an animation. There are two main parts to this flow, setup and draw. So setup includes actions. Actually, we'll get to setup and draw when we get there.
Setup and draw.
Oh, we're already there. So my notes from setup and draw. Setup includes actions that only happen once, while draw includes actions that happen continuously forever. Blocks of code are individual blocks of code that are between curly brackets. Here, I wrote that. Individual block of code that's between a curly bracket. No, I did write that correctly. By correctly, I mean grammar. But anyways, for example, we're going to define setup as a block of code, followed by draw as a block of code with a curly bracket in between. You know what? I'm going to delete that because that should be self-explanatory. Lines of code inside of curly brackets are indented. It's another song for my streaming playlist I kind of like. Gotta make sure I saved it. Sorry, y'all. Oh no, it is in my playlist. All right. Cool. Sorry about that. Anyways, lines of code inside of curly brackets are indented. Command T means auto format, which I don't think he talked about all that much, but I assume it formats the code. So that's a little bit cleaner automatically. That's my assumption, if I remember correctly. And then in order to create animations, we need to introduce variability into our code. Otherwise, it'll loop the code over and over as it is. So this image appears static. I'll say so instead of to. I'm going to also rephrase that. In order to create animations, we need to introduce variability into our code in order to create. Oh, so then I could delete the last part. Next time we're going to start, so next tutorial for day, which I assume is mouse X and mouse Y, I believe. We're going to start with our first variable called a built-in variable. Cool. So yeah, let's see.
Let's think about them this way. Let's say you're designing a game. When the game begins, a lot of things must be initialized. Maybe you start with a score of 0. You have 3 lives. Your health is at 100. The level is level 1. Those are all the things that happen once at the initialization point of the game. That is setup. Then there are other things that happen. If the game is Space Invaders, for example, there's a lot of things that happen over time. The spaceship moves around.
I'm gonna change the playback of this chapter just because we already watched it. I'm just kind of revisiting it to make sure I absorbed everything.
Around and flies, the aliens come in, you increase your score, you lose your lives. All of that happens over and over again over time, forever essentially, until you quit the program. That is draw. Setup is initialization. It's things that happen just once. Draw is things that happen over and over again, forever. The forever, of course, being in quotes, although it would be an interesting challenge to see if we could get a processing sketch to run forever. These are two fundamental concepts that we need to introduce to our processing sketch. And the way that I'm going to bring these into the sketch is with something known as a block of code. A block of code is an organized collection of lines of code that sit in between two curly brackets. It's gonna be hard for me to draw these, but I'm gonna do my best. We have an open curly bracket and a closed curly bracket, and some number of
I feel like he actually drew it really well.
lines of code in between those two curly brackets. So we are going to define the setup block with curly brackets and the draw block with curly brackets. If you're following along, you could expand on whatever design you created so far.
So this is why I briefly showed the code that I copied from this tutorial. This is what I briefly showed at the beginning. Also, I just realized on his desktop he has every version of processing 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's interesting. I wonder why that is.
But I might suggest right now you start over, or at least heavily simplify that particular design. I've taken my example and taken out the line and the rectangle, just simplified the color, and now I have just one single circle appearing in the center of the canvas. I am now going to add the setup and draw blocks of code to this example. I have typed in quite a bit of new, strange, unfamiliar syntax, which unfortunately is going to feel kind of wonky and weird and uncomfortable for you for a little while still. Don't worry, by the time this video ends, however long it is, I will have covered all the ins and outs of everything I just typed in there. But for now, I want you to focus on two things. I want you to focus on the keywords setup and draw. They're bolded there by processing, and the open and closed curly brackets associated with those. It's the setup block and the draw block. Notice also how the lines of code that are inside those curly brackets are indented. I typed that all in.
Took my headphones off. I can mostly hear it, but I'm just going to go back to see if you mentioned why it's called void setup and void draw. I just wonder what the void means.
A bit of new, strange, unfamiliar syntax, which unfortunately is going to feel kind of wonky and weird.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's not going to go into all the syntax here because he'll talk about it later when it makes more sense to do so.
Uncomfortable for you for a little while still. Don't worry, by the time this video ends, however long it is, I will have covered all the ins and outs of everything I just typed in there. But for now, I want you to focus on two things. I want you to focus on the keywords setup and draw. They're bolded there by processing, and the open and closed curly brackets associated with those. It's the setup block and the draw block. Notice also how the lines of code that are inside those curly brackets are indented. I typed that all in quite quickly, so you might have missed how did they get indented? Well, I could have manually done that with spaces or tabs. Oh boy, spaces or tabs. But actually what I did is use one of my absolute favorite things in the world of coding and processing. It's right up here under edit, and it's auto format.
Yes, there it is.
Command, or on Windows probably Control T.
I'm gonna go back. Just a few.
Of code that are inside those curly brackets are indented. I typed that all in quite quickly, so you might have missed how did they get indented? Well, I could have manually done that with spaces or tabs. Oh boy, spaces or tabs. But actually what I did is use one of my absolute favorite things.
Wait, I didn't use space or tabs. It automatically did that without me hitting auto format last time, I think, if I remember correctly.
In the world of coding and processing, it's right up here under edit, and it's auto format. Command, or on Windows probably Control T. But this is the key thing I want you to focus on. Setup and draw. Open curly bracket and close curly bracket. Blocks of code. It might seem like I'm overemphasizing this, but this concept of a block of code is going to extend to so many things that I show you throughout all of these fundamental building blocks of programming the computer in processing. So if the flow is defined by setup happening once and draw happening over and over again, forever if you will, what kinds of lines of code should go in the block of code that is setup versus the block of code that is draw? In this case, I'm programming just a simple design, so there's not a lot of options. But let's consider first the line of code size. Well, certainly size is an initialization condition for my processing sketch. It's a thing that's defined at the beginning. It's not something that I'm defining over and over again. So size should go here. Background is kind of a really interesting question. Should it go? Is it something that I define at the beginning, the background of the sketch? Or is it something that I define over and over again in draw? Think about that. There's no right answer to this. For right now, I've placed background in setup, which is a little bit odd, but let's go with it.
Sorry, I just realized I forgot to send something real quick. Actually, no, I think I'm all set. Cool.
Let's go with it. Usually I do it the other way around when demonstrating this, but let's see where this leads us. Draw is named draw, even though it's a loop, a forever loop. It's named draw because it's typically where you will draw the stuff. Again, for any design that you're animating, you've got to draw it, move stuff, draw it again, move it, draw it again. We haven't gotten to the moving thing, but we have gotten to the drawing thing. So maybe in this case, we've got a call to fill, we've got a call to circle, etc. So this is what we've got. We now have a program that runs forever over time. Let's get even more details about this for a moment. What's actually happening? Remember, processing executes the lines of code in order. It was very simple for us to follow that order when it was just.
Also, I'm not saying anything here just because remember all this from last time. Just, yeah, again, doing a little refresher. So, yeah.
a linear list of lines of code. Now we have these two blocks, but I'm gonna talk you through it. The first thing that happens is size. The next thing that happens is background. Then set no stroke, set a pink fill, draw a circle. What happens next? Draw loops back to the first line of code. So we set no stroke, we set a pink fill, we draw the circle. A no stroke fill, circle, no stroke fill, circle, no stroke fill, circle, no stroke fill, circle. This is what's happening. But because nothing ever changes, no stroke fill and circle are executed with the same arguments every single time. We never see anything different, and visually it appears static to us. What we need for it to animate, for it to change, is to introduce variability into our sketch. Now, at some point in a moment, I'm gonna erase this whole whiteboard, I'm gonna write variables across the top, and we're gonna unpack all sorts of details about how you define variables and use variables and all of that. But a quick little entry point, we're just gonna dip our toe into the variable water here, is to use something that is known as a built-in variable in processing.
Cool. We are caught up. Let me make it back to, set it back to regular speed, normal speed, and we'll continue.
Processing comes with a whole bunch of these, and they're quite fun and quick and easy to use. Two variables that are really gonna just explode the possibility space of what we can do even right now are mouse X and mouse Y. So I'm gonna write variables. We got a little bubble here, and these are two variables that we're gonna get to use right now. We can use them anywhere we want in our code, but they're gonna make the most impact if we use them in combination with the circle command inside the draw loop. Where am I going with this? Let's think about it. Wouldn't it be nice if
Yeah, go back just to make sure I absorb that.
them in combination with the circle? What we can do even right now are mouse.
Actually, you know what? Let me go back and start my notes for this section. So I'm going to move these two up. We'll add a new, so let's just start a new tab. So this is notes from mouse X and mouse Y. Not used to typing on this keyboard, so I keep making mistakes. Cool.
X and mouse Y. So I'm gonna write variables. We got a little bubble here, and these are two variables that we're gonna get to use right now. We can use them anywhere we want in our code, but they're gonna make the most impact if we use them in combination.
So I'll say mouse X and mouse. Oh, no, I'm not typing.
Circle.
Oh my god. I should not use this keyboard. Here, let me go back to where I was. I don't even know what I've been doing. Oh my god. So, just say what I was trying to do is mouse X and mouse Y are variables. That's it. That's all I was trying to do. All right, back to the tutorial.
Processing comes with a whole bunch of these, and they're quite fun and quick and easy to use. Two variables that are really gonna just explode the possibility space of what we can do even right now are mouse X and mouse Y. So I'm gonna write variables. We got a little bubble here, and these are two variables that we're gonna get to use right now. We can use them anywhere we want in our code, but they're gonna make the most impact if we use them in combination with the circle command inside the draw loop.
I wonder why that is. I'm not gonna write that down because I'm a little confused about it. So let's see what
Where
he
am I
means.
going with this? Let's think about it. Wouldn't it be nice if I could...
Oh, also, I should probably open up that code from last time's file. Oh yeah, I forget you can open things from the sketchbook. Nice. So 11th stream. Guess I'll close the sketchbook, and we have the same little circle drawing here that he has. So we're gonna close it for now.
just say, hey, you're about to draw this circle. Instead of saying draw it at
Let me
pixel
open it.
320, draw it at whatever pixel wherever the mouse is. Whatever pixel wherever the mouse is. Now, of course, if I run that, it's gonna tell me crazy syntax error. It can't figure out what the heck I'm talking about. That is not code. That might be something I like to write as a comment. And the way to do that with...
Oh, so I guess these are called variables here, while the word circle itself is the function call. I'm gonna add that same comment for myself. Draw the circle. Excuse me. at the mouse X position.
In the function itself is to actually use the built-in variable mousex. Mousex is a stand-in for whatever value is stored somewhere
X
in the
and
computer's
Y.
brain, essentially.
That must be at X and Y for the graph alright.
The right word for that is memory. It's keeping track of where your mouse is. We can gain access to that value through the reference name mousex.
Let me see if I wrote it properly. We predicted the future. Yeah, there we go. Nice. We made a little drawing. This is cool. I remember for one of my classes, my professor made something kind of like this for our class poster, or our show poster for the class. So this is cool. Is there a way to erase it? Maybe that's what we'll do next. I wonder why it always starts in the top left. Yeah, maybe I could have an interactive poster for my stream posters. That would be kind of fun. I just need to hide my mouse from the recording of it. But anyways.
And processing behind the scenes has defined and set that up all for us. Let's run this sketch now. Oh, whoa, what is going on?
Oh, so only X is working for him right now. That makes sense.
First of all, I'm just smearing this circle across the window. Let's try to do a bit more here. At the mouse X and mouse Y position, let's add.
I forgot to add that to my comments. The mouse X and mouse Y.
Add mouse Y. Let me also make it a little bit smaller, just 50 pixels in diameter. Look at that. I have a painting program. Think about this. Wait a sec.
That's
Why
crazy.
is it smearing?
That was crazy how easy this was to create. I know we're several streams in, and this is all we've done, but I'm still very impressed.
The circle. To answer that,
Impressed at
let's
how
go
easy it was, really.
back to how we divided up the code. Why do I see the previous circle? Well, let's follow this again. Size, background, fill, circle, fill, circle, fill, circle. Size, fill the background.
I wonder what frame rate it's refreshing at for the variables. And I assume there must be a way to change that, right?
Draw a circle, draw a circle, draw a circle, draw a circle. I never said erase the previous circle. The computer is always going to literally follow exactly what you say to do. So I would need to, if I want to see the illusion of it moving, I would need to disappear that circle before I draw the next one. Is there a erase circle, or should I draw the circle the same color as the background? Guess what? I could.
And then I'll write, he hasn't said this exactly, but for my own context in my notes, I'll write variables can be filled in next to function calls in the parentheses. How do we spell parentheses? For example, mouse X and mouse Y can replace the X and Y coordinates of the static shape.
Try to do goofy things like that, but this is exactly why this placement of background is so critical. If I were to move background into draw, what that says is draw the background, draw the circle. Draw the background, draw the circle.
Oh, interesting.
And look at that.
Oh, interesting. So if we move background into the, what was it, setup draw? How do you call that? The block. What was it called again? What are they called? Block of code. I'll just say into the draw block of code. This will instantly refresh, making it appear as though the circle, or I'll say the object that's being controlled is, how do I say this for my notes? Making it appear as though the objects that being controlled. Is moving instead of drawing. I think that'll make sense to myself. I don't like the double use of the word draw here in like a technical sense and then like a colloquial sense, but it's what I gotta leave it for now because I think that's the best way I can phrase it for myself. So let me try that. What happens if I put background twice too? Does that give me an error? No, it just does the same thing. Oh, it's very glitchy though. I wonder if that's because I put it in twice and it's using more computer power or something. Yeah, that's so much smoother if I remove the second background. Interesting. Interesting. Wonder why that is. Cool. Cool.
Now I have this circle that moves perfectly with the mouse. But this opens up another kind of weird question, at least in my mind, that I really wondered when I was first working with processing many years ago. If it's drawing the background and then the circle and then the background and then the circle, shouldn't I see like this flick?
Oh, so I'll say. Actually, you know what? I'll leave it how it is. The notes.
Like background, circle.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Why isn't it flickering because of that?
Well, the answer to that is no, because we're not seeing it, but also yes. If that is exactly what we were doing here, we would see that flickering. But processing knows the draw block of code is very special. It's actually doing all the steps off screen, like in its brain, in its memory, and at the end of draw, it then updates the display. This is referred to as double buffered animation because
interesting. I'll say the draw function in processing is referred to as double, what was it, animation?
Like in its brain, in its memory, and at the end of draw, it then updates the display. This is referred to as double buffered animation because the next frame, if you will, is being rendered in a separate buffer off screen, and only when it's done, it gets
the animation is being rendered in a buffer off screen.
Displayed. Then we render the next and display it. So again, I'm getting a little in the weeds of the sort of lower level. Then we rendered in a separate buffer.
I think I heard a loud noise. I'm gonna check and make sure everything's okay. I'll be right back. Cool. We're back, we're back. All right, where was I? Because the animation is being rendered in a buffer off screen, and then how do you describe it after?
Because the next frame, if you will, is being rendered in a separate buffer off screen, and only when it's done, it gets displayed.
Only when a frame is done rendering is it displayed on screen. This is why we don't see a flickering effect when the animation is don't see a flickering effect when sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. When background parentheses semicolon is moved into the draw block of code. Perfect. Exactly what I was trying to say. Cool.
Then we render the next and display it. So again, I'm getting a little in the weeds of the sort of lower level mechanisms of the computer, but it is an important detail to understand.
I say this is also referred to as the lower level. What did he say? I feel like this was a casual term.
Sort of lower level mechanisms.
I feel like that's just like a colloquial way he's saying that, but I like the word lower level as like a reference for myself for later. Oh, I didn't realize how messy my notes were getting. Here, let me move it down. The lower level code. How do I say this? I feel like we'll learn about this properly later, so I'll just leave that as it is for now.
The computer, but it is an important detail to understand. And this is going to come up as you do more things within the draw loop itself, that it only updates when it gets to the end. Okay, I've now defined the flow of the program. Let me move background back into setup. What would happen, do you think, if I add some alpha transparency to the circle? Let's actually make it very light. Like I'm gonna just give it an alpha of 25. Look at that.
Ah,
if it's
interesting.
in place, it's rendering that circle over and over on top of.
I'll say we add transparency. We'll see that our drawing leaves behind marks as we remain stationary because the draw function is being rendered over and over again. It's rendering the transparent layers on top of itself. Causing it to appear more opaque when stationary. Sorry, I was trying to think of the best way to say that. All right.
Blending with itself.
I'm also going to add this to the code before I forget. Save. So just file S. Yeah. That was on 2. We do. Oh, no, it. Sorry. Again, getting used to this keyboard here. It's because you saw my last stream, I spilled like a drop of water on my keyboard yesterday, but it went right between the keys. So I have it upside down behind me drying off. I'm just gonna leave it drying just to make sure. Oh, this looks different than his though. Why does it look different? You're still using the other keyboard? Yeah, I probably didn't need to. Hope you just explained. No worries. Sorry, I missed your message when I explained. But yeah, I felt like it probably is dry by now, but I'm a little paranoid because I like that other keyboard a lot. So I'm just letting it dry for extra long just to be 100% sure, or as sure as I can be, so no keys get sticky or anything. But yeah, Sarah, thanks for joining as always. Thank you. Yeah, why does my code look different though? 255, 100, 225. 640, 360. Oh, because that's why. So I have background still in the draw section, so it's still rendering the background, which is, you might not even see it on stream. It's super light right now. But if I remove background here. Oh, did my keyboard just disconnect? That's not good. Uh-oh, what did I do to my keyboard? Not the other keyboard too. The lights turned off and it stopped typing all of a sudden. All right, there we go. I'm gonna delete this here. Then where did he put background? After size. So background, parentheses 0, parentheses, semicolon. Cool. So yeah, this looks more like his. It's a little less fluid. Maybe it's the same actually. Keyboards are rebelling against you, exactly. They truly are right now. I wonder why that is, but it's all good. So yeah, you can see what I was talking about of more transparent layers are being layered on top of one another. It gets opaque very quickly. Cool.
Thickens the color, but as I move it, it's a very slight fuzzy color. So even with just this one simple addition, we've created this really fun, quite dynamic drawing program. There's so few lines of code here. Maybe this might be a good moment for you to pause and play around and make your own version of this.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do. Let me see what else he says before moving on to the next tutorial, and we'll end the stream doing that.
How did that go? I don't know, you're probably just still watching the video. That's fine too. I leave it up to you. I think there are some other really important aspects to the flow of a program for me to discuss before we move on and really unpack all there is to know about variables.
Cool. So yeah, a mouse pressed event. I assume that'll let us, maybe it'll let us erase the drawing when you click the mouse. I don't know. That's my prediction. But yeah, so let's do something fun with this here before we wrap up stream. So here's what we got. Start by changing the color. Let me stop running it. So if we go to color selector, it's a color that would be nice for this. I like blue. Let's stick with blue. Let's do a light blue, maybe even a greenish blue. Nah, not too green. A little green. Let's do something light. So we got 76, 171. Oops. Well, I remember that's 171. And 216. Cool. Yep, now it's that color. I messed up the color. I think, was it 171? So yeah, there we go. Cool. What should the background color be? Let's do something even lighter. Let's do like a greenish tone, maybe. Oh, that's what we did as the background last time. Here, let's change it up. Yeah, let's do like a yellow or an orange. Here, how about that? 245. 245. 234. 193 for red, green, and blue. Let's see how it looks. Cool. Awesome. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Let's make it a little bit more orange. We still have 245, but now 222 for red and 193. So still 193 for blue. Sorry, green to us 222. Actually, nah, I liked it a little bit more yellow, actually. I think we're really just changing green here to 239. Okay, yeah, I'll keep it here. And let's change the shape. I know, why did you mention circle specifically for using mouse Y, mouse X and mouse Y? You didn't say, oh, you can use any shape. He's like, oh, this works great for circle shape. So why is that? What other shapes can we use? Let's go back to the processing reference. So if we go to processing.org, let's go to examples. No, not examples. Where's reference? There we go. Documentation reference. And we'll go, I believe it's 2D primitives, but was that on their shape? Yes, it is. Cool. Do a quadrilateral. So here actually no, I'm not going to copy and paste that. Oh wait, that must be why, because all of these are for the different points. Which one is there? One for the center? No, it's because every X and Y point is for a different point on the quadrilateral. I bet that means you can control like one corner, which is kind of cool, but not exactly what I'm looking for here. So yeah, we could do a square. So let's just change it to square. There we go. Oh, it leaves the square in the top left-hand corner. That's kind of interesting. I guess it was doing that before anyways. Oh, I kind of like the squares. This is actually really cool. Awesome. What else would I want to do to it? I wonder what else he intended or expected people to make. Let me see exactly what he said about it.
I don't know. We've created fuzzy color. So even with just this one simple addition, we've created this really fun, quite dynamic drawing program. There's so few lines of code here. Maybe this might be a good moment for you to pause and play around and make your own version of this.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I guess I could move the background back to draw if I wanted the square to move and have the background refresh, but I kind of like the way it is right now. So yeah, I'm going to say save. Actually, can we rename? Oops, that's not what I meant to do. File. Let's go to Sketchbook. If I close out of this because we saved. Show folder. I'm going to rename this one. Well, not 125th stream. We're getting way ahead of ourselves. Let's say 12th stream sketch. Anything else I want to add to that? Nah, I'll just leave it like that. Cool. So did that work? Did we successfully rename it? If I go back processing, sketchbook here. Let me close out the sketchbook. Let me open up the sketchbook again. No, it still says 11th stream sketch. Refresh. Oh, now it just disappeared. That's not good. Why did it disappear? If I go to open recent, it still says 11th. And now it won't even, oh, did I just delete it? Why is it not working? Oh. Tried to make a simple little edit, and that caused some chaos here. Why is that? Why didn't it rename the way I intended it to? It still shows up here, so it didn't fully delete. Let me rename this too. Maybe they just need to match for it to show up in the sketchbook. Oh yeah, I guess they just have to match. That's interesting. It's not a valid name for sketch code. Better to stick to ASC2, no spaces, make sure it doesn't start with a number. Oh, it doesn't start with it. Why can't it start with a number? That's weird. Here, let me go back. How did I access that? Oh, I did show folder. So we'll say 12. Did I spell 12 correctly? That's embarrassing that I'm not 100% sure. No, there's an F in there. Of course there is. Of course I spelled it incorrectly. We'll rename this too. Now if we open up the sketchbook. Yeah. Oh. It went down to the bottom, but it shows up. Cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Actually, let's take a screenshot of this too to show what we did today. Let me stop writing it, start writing it again. Let's do something like this. Kind of trying to make my own little pattern. All right. Then screenshot this. Cool. And I'll stop, save, quit. All right, so let's wrap up the stream by adding some notes from today. So I guess we're done with our notes for mouse X and mouse Y. So I'll bold this one. And then let me add that drawing in here as well, so I can say what we drew today. Oh, I should have. I hate that it's not cropped well. That bothers me more than it should, but whatever. So I'm going to move this up. I'm going to say, delete that, and I'll say, interactive drawing made today. Squares were controlled by mouse coordinates. Cool. I hate that. I already deleted it, but I hate that the cropping is so bad, and I don't want to go too long over my stream time, so I'll just leave it for now. It shouldn't bother me this much. You know, I love adding arrows to my freeform board, so we'll add this little arrow here. Cool. And yeah, what else? So what we did today, we start by revisiting program flow. And What was the other one called? Program flow. Also, Sarah, I don't know if you're still watching, but we talked about Zoob, or I talked about Zoob earlier in the stream, just when I was recapping yesterday's stream. But yeah, program flow was the other one. Setup and draw. And draw. And learn processing. Crustacean Nation, I am still here. Cool. Crustacean Nation, truly. But yeah, so we recapped program flow, sup, and draw. We completed. What was today? Oh, mouse X and mouse Y. Oh, Instagram just ended because we went over the duration limit. So I'm going to go over and end the Instagram stream. Cool. So now we're just on Twitch and YouTube. Well, that's fun because we're about to wrap up anyways. Took time and better notes to understand the concepts better. I'm just going to delete that and say I quickly revisited it. Complete program. Oh, mouse X and mouse Y. And mouse Y. Then I'll say we made our own variation of the sketch. That's the word I was looking for. That Daniel Whitman made in his mouse X and mouse Y tutorial. Wow, what did my keyboard do there? That mouse X looks crazy. Mouse X. Patience around that. Then I have my general to do off of stream, which still has not changed. We're still needing to update a few things in Nightbot, decide on a time for Sunday streams, and email Cam Live to see if my Instagram duration limit can be adjusted. So our agenda. So I don't think I'll be able to stream tomorrow. I have an event going on tomorrow around 6 p.m. So I might be able to stream if I get home early enough, but I don't know if that'll be possible. Actually, I don't think it'll be possible. I have a long day tomorrow. So yeah, I'll say agenda for Wednesday. I always have to say, when I type Wednesday, I have to say out of my head Wednesday. I've probably done that since like kindergarten or whatever, but it's hard for me not to say Wednesday there instead of Wednesday. Thursday, oh my god, thank you. I didn't even have to say it in the first place. First day's stream. Tomorrow's Wednesday, yes. My bad. If you're streaming not tomorrow, then it's Thursday. Yes, not streaming tomorrow, then it's Thursday, but yes, yeah. My bad. Alright, thank you for catching that, because I totally would have went the entire rest of the stream without realizing that mistake. And then Thursday's stream is not the 27th, tomorrow's the 28th, so it'll be the 29th is when we next stream. So yeah, we'll review what we did today, and then we'll go right into the next chapter. And what was the next chapter called? Here. Mouse pressed events. Mouse pressed events. Thank you, Nightbot, for saying what I always try to remember to say at the end of the stream. Begin chapter mouse pressed events. Cool. And then yeah, that's really it. On Thursday, we're really just continuing the tutorial. No assignment, no things we need to revisit. Simple, straightforward, just continue the tutorials from mouse pressed event. Cool, I think this is everything. We recapped what we did today. We got ready for Thursday's stream, and again, yeah, very possible I might be able to stream, but very unlikely. I'll just say no for now. And then I'll be live Thursday. at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is 2:30 p.m. Pacific Time. And yeah, then after that, I'll be off Friday and Saturday, but may stream again on Sunday. Depends if I have time on Sunday. So a couple of gaps coming up in my stream schedule. Another reason why I haven't posted my stream schedule yet, but yeah, I'll be live tomorrow 5:30. It's not tomorrow, Thursday 5:30 p.m. And if you're not following on Twitch, please do so, and subscribe on YouTube just so you know next time I go live. And otherwise, thank you all so much for joining. Hope it was nice to keep on in the background as you worked on your own projects or whatever it may be, did some chores, whatever, and I'll see you all Thursday. Thank you, thank you. Sarah, I did the same. Oh my god, I was literally just about to say I did the thing I do every single stream. I always forget. You are so right. Literally, I have not remembered once since I started streaming again. I always forget. I go to the buy screen and then I remember to say it then. So yeah, if you're watching on Twitch, stick around for the raid. And thank you all again for joining. And thank you, Sarah, for reminding me. See y'all.